Leg strength in older adults is one of the single most reliable predictors of future independence, mobility, and overall longevity. Medical researchers and geriatric specialists use a specific, simple evaluation to gauge how well an aging body is functioning, and it relates directly to the large muscles in your lower body. This evaluation can often predict whether a senior will remain independent or face mobility challenges within the next 6 months. The good news is that you can perform this check safely at home, and more importantly, you can improve your results with specific daily habits. The 30-second chair stand test. The first step is to understand and perform the assessment itself, which serves as your baseline. This is known clinically as the 30-second chair stand test. It is widely used by physical therapists and doctors to assess lower body strength and endurance. The reason this specific movement, standing up from a chair, is chosen is that it requires the coordinated effort of your glutes, quadriceps, hamstrings, and calves, along with balance and core stability. If you cannot stand up efficiently, it indicates a loss of muscle mass, known as sarcopenia, which drastically increases the risk of falls. To perform this test safely, you need a sturdy chair without armrests. It is critical that you place the back of the chair against a wall to prevent it from sliding backward. Safety is the priority here. Sit in the middle of the chair with your feet flat on the floor, shoulder width apart. Your back should be straight. Cross your arms over your chest, placing each hand on the opposite shoulder. This ensures you are using only your leg muscles to rise, not pushing off with your arms. Have a clock with a second hand or a phone timer ready. When you say go, you will stand up fully to an upright position and then sit back down completely. That counts as 1 repetition. You repeat this as many times as you can in exactly 30 seconds. Do not rush to the point of dizziness. Simply move at a steady, deliberate pace. Count your full repetitions. For a general health outlook, men between 60 and 64 should aim for at least 14 repetitions. Women between 60 and 64 should aim for at least 12. As you age, the number adjusts slightly downward. For those over 80, 10 repetitions is a strong target. If you score below these averages, it is a clear signal from your body that your functional mobility is declining and your risk of falling in the next 6 months is elevated. However, this score is not permanent. It is simply a snapshot. You can improve this number and, by extension, your health outlook by focusing on specific inputs. This is simple to do and gives you immediate data about your body. Daily sit-to-stand practice. Once you have your baseline score, the most effective way to improve your leg strength is to turn the test into a daily training habit. You do not need a gym or heavy weights to build leg strength after 60. You simply need to move your body weight against gravity. The habit here is to perform the sit-to-stand exercise every single day, but with a focus on form rather than speed. Unlike the test, where you try to get as many as possible, the practice involves moving slowly. Place your sturdy chair against the wall again. Sit with your feet flat. Lean your chest slightly forward over your hips to shift your center of gravity. Press through your heels to stand up. Squeeze your glutes at the top. Then, and this is the most important part, lower yourself back down very slowly. The downward phase, where you are resisting gravity, is called the eccentric phase. This is where the most muscle fiber recruitment occurs. Many seniors plop into the chair, letting gravity take over. By resisting gravity and lowering yourself gently for a count of 3 seconds, you stimulate muscle growth and repair much faster than by standing up quickly. Aim for 3 sets of 10 repetitions every morning. If you cannot do 10, start with 5. The key is consistency. By forcing your thigh muscles to control your descent, you are teaching your nervous system to stabilize your knee joints. This directly translates to better stability when walking downstairs or navigating uneven sidewalks. This works well for most older adults and requires no equipment. Morning protein loading. Physical effort requires biological fuel, and for aging muscles, the timing of that fuel is critical. The third crucial habit is adjusting your breakfast to include a high dose of protein. As we age, our bodies develop anabolic resistance. This means your muscles become stubborn. They do not respond to small amounts of protein the way they did when you were 30. To trigger the muscle-building process, specifically in the legs, you need to hit a certain threshold of protein in a single meal. A piece of toast and coffee is not enough to signal your legs to get stronger. You need approximately 25 to 30 grams of protein in your morning meal to overcome that resistance. Without this, your daily exercises will be less effective because the raw materials for repair are missing. Good sources for this include eggs, Greek yogurt, cottage cheese, or a protein supplement if you have a small appetite. For example, 3 eggs provide about 18 grams of protein. Adding a side of Greek yogurt can push you over the 25-gram threshold. When you consume this protein, it provides amino acids like leucine, which acts like a key in the ignition of a car. It turns the muscle-building machinery on. If you eat very little protein, the car never starts, and you remain in a state of muscle breakdown. By front-loading your protein at breakfast, you ensure that any movement you do throughout the day is supported by adequate nutrition. This fits into any routine and protects your muscle assets. Immediate hydration upon waking. Another helpful step involves the fluids that lubricate your joints. Stiffness is a primary reason many seniors fail the leg strength test. They have the strength, but the joints feel rusty or stuck, making the movement slow and painful. Your joints, particularly the knees and hips, are cushioned by synovial fluid. This fluid acts like motor oil in an engine. When you sleep, your body becomes naturally dehydrated because you go 8 hours without water. This causes the synovial fluid to become thicker and more viscous, leading to that familiar morning stiffness. To correct this, drink a full glass of water immediately upon waking before your coffee or tea. Water helps to rehydrate the tissues and thin out the synovial fluid, allowing it to move freely between the cartilage surfaces. This makes the mechanical action of standing up much smoother. It is not just about thirst, it is about hydraulic pressure within the joint capsule. Furthermore, muscle fibers require water and electrolytes to contract. A dehydrated muscle is a weak muscle. If your cells are shriveled from lack of fluid, they cannot generate maximum force. By rehydrating first thing, you optimize the physical environment for your muscles to work. Most older adults can try this safely. It is a zero-cost intervention that improves how your body feels mechanically within minutes. Ankle mobility drills. Here is another simple habit that is often overlooked. Sometimes the problem with standing up is not the thigh muscles, but the ankles. To stand up from a chair efficiently, your knees must push forward over your toes. This movement requires flexibility in the ankle joint, a motion known as dorsiflexion. If your ankles are stiff and cannot bend, your body is forced to compensate by leaning too far forward or using momentum to rock out of the chair, which increases the risk of falling forward. Stiff ankles are very common in seniors due to sedentary behavior or arthritis. To fix this, you can perform simple ankle drills while sitting in your chair. Lift one foot off the floor and draw large circles with your toes. Do 10 circles clockwise and 10 circles counterclockwise. Then point your toes as far away from you as possible and pull them back toward your shins as hard as you can. Repeat this flexing and pointing 10 times for each foot. This simple routine warms up the connective tissue and signals the calf muscles to relax. When your ankles are mobile, your feet can stay flat on the floor during the sit-to-stand test, providing a solid base of support. This allows the force from your legs to transfer directly into the floor, making standing up feel lighter and more controlled. This gentle adjustment helps with stability and balance. You can do this while watching television or reading. Vitamin D intake. One more easy change involves a nutrient that acts more like a hormone in the body. Vitamin D is essential for bone health, which is well known, but it is equally critical for muscle function. Vitamin D receptors are found on muscle tissue. When vitamin D levels are low, which is extremely common in people over 60, muscles can experience weakness and fatigue. You might feel a heaviness in your legs that makes movement feel exhausting. This is not always due to a lack of fitness. It can be a chemical deficiency. Adequate vitamin D levels help your nervous system send strong, clear signals to your muscle fibers to contract. It also helps regulate the calcium in muscle cells, which is the mineral that actually triggers the contraction. Since it is difficult to get enough vitamin D from food alone, and the aging skin is less efficient at converting sunlight into vitamin D, many doctors recommend a daily supplement for seniors. You should consult your doctor for the correct dosage, but maintaining optimal levels is a non-negotiable part of keeping your legs strong. If your bones are brittle, your body will naturally limit the amount of force your muscles can generate as a protective mechanism. By keeping bones strong with vitamin D and calcium, you allow your muscles to work at full capacity without inhibition. This is easy on the body and supports the skeletal system deeply. Tandem stance practice. Here is another simple habit to improve your neurological balance. Strength is only half the equation, balance is the other half. The sit-to-stand test requires you to be stable. If you are wobbling, you lose energy and speed. To improve this, practice the tandem stance daily. This is a static balance drill. Stand near a counter or a sturdy chair so you can grab it if needed. Place one foot directly in front of the other so the heel of your front foot touches the toes of your back foot, like you are standing on a tightrope. Try to hold this position for 10 to 30 seconds without holding onto the support. Then switch feet. This narrow base of support forces your small stabilizer muscles around the ankles, knees, and hips to fire rapidly to keep you upright. It trains your brain to know exactly where your body is in space, a sense called proprioception. Improving your proprioception means that when you stand up from a chair, your body instantly finds its center of gravity. You will feel less shaky and more confident. Confidence allows you to move with more power. If you are afraid of falling, you will naturally move hesitantly. By training your balance, you remove the hesitation. Most older adults can try this safely with a counter nearby. It takes less than a minute, but recalibrates your balance system effectively. Magnesium-rich foods. The final habit focuses on relaxation and recovery. Muscles that are tight and cramped cannot perform well. Magnesium is the mineral responsible for muscle relaxation. Many seniors suffer from leg cramps, especially at night. This is often a sign of magnesium deficiency. If your calf muscles or hamstrings are chronically tight, they pull on the joints and make the act of standing up mechanically difficult. You are fighting against your own tension. To combat this, include magnesium-rich foods in your evening meal. Foods like spinach, pumpkin seeds, black beans, and almonds are excellent sources. Magnesium helps the muscle fibers release their contraction and lengthen. When your muscles are pliable and relaxed, they have a better range of motion. This means that when you perform your morning leg test or your daily exercises, your muscles can move through the full range without pain or resistance. Magnesium also supports better sleep quality. Since muscle repair happens primarily while you sleep, getting a good night's rest is part of the strengthening process. If you sleep poorly, your cortisol levels rise, which can lead to muscle wasting. By managing your magnesium intake, you support both the mechanical function of the leg muscles and the systemic recovery of the body. This is simple to do and helps the body function more easily. By combining the diagnostic power of the 30-second chair stand test with these 7 supportive habits, you create a comprehensive shield against frailty. You are not just testing your health, you are actively constructing it. The test tells you where you are. The protein, hydration, practice, and nutrients take you where you want to be. If you know someone over 50 who could benefit from this, share this video and subscribe for more simple health tips.